Time's up. Have your own.
Here it comes.
Oh, we did it. We made it to the end. Welcome to the regular season finale of Doctor Who Cares Reviews, because we'll be back at Christmas, where we will discuss Empire of Death. And, well, Doctor Who really is dead after this one, even though somehow Shooty escaped the cringy fog of sand that kills everybody. So welcome, everybody. We've got a full panel tonight. Not just Dermy, Jed, and myself. We've got Duke Devil, Bradley Burnett, and we've got Mr. Grant Gregory. But we'll start with Dermy, who seems to not be paying attention. Dermy, how are you?
No, I'm paying attention. I'm just trying to. What the fuck is this shit? I was trying to look at what people were saying on Twitter about everything that's been going on, and let's be real honest here. It was nothing.
Nothing.
Because we thought it was important.
Yeah, we're gonna get to it because Jed, all our predictions were we kind of missed every one of our predictions last week, didn't we? About what was going to happen here.
Yeah,
That was your problem. You used logic in your predictions. You shouldn't have.
Yes, the problem is we had a bunch of predictions of what was going to happen. It wasn't just logic. It was that there was no answer.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah,
we got duped again. We got Last Jedi'd again, and we didn't even think about it. Disney doing Disney.
You thought they were actually going to point out things and attach story at the end to everything they had kind of laid out. You damn fools.
Pointing. See, Jed and Dermy were dancing around tidbits of what happened because I didn't watch it till this morning last night. They're just pointing. It means stuff, and Dermy's trying to say something. I'm guys, you know to wait. And so when it happens, I realized, wow, now I understand what Jed meant. Pointing means things now. But
it doesn't make sense because the previous episode said the pointing was a change in the timeline. And she didn't originally point.
We will get to that. We'll get to it, but we've got two guests to this week. Welcome, Brad. How you doing, man? We know that you love this stuff as much as we do, and it hurts, but roasting it.
Oh, what are you talking about? I absolutely love the current Doctor Who. It is fantastic. I have never felt so much emotion in my life. I am so glad that this week Dr. Shooty made up for last week's lack of crying. Yes,
4 times.
I was counting. It was 4 times. He made up for it. Spades. The acting chops on this young man. Give him the Emmy right now, or BAFTA, or whatever.
I'd like to give Millie Gibson something, but not for her acting.
That tank top.
I'm too old for that. That's inappropriate for me.
Oh, that tank top. Yes. Millie Gibson gets all kinds of awards, just not for her acting. We are joined also by Grant Gregory. Welcome, Grant. How you doing, man? Welcome. I know you enjoyed this as much as the rest of us.
Yeah, I'm doing really well. Unfortunately, last night I pointed at my microwave accidentally, so now my kid's name is Microwave. So but it is what it is. So
sucks.
I know.
You got to be careful.
Yeah.
Yep. The memes about the pointing. I've been loving Twitter at the moment, where people are just going around naming things.
What about the Leo meme where there were Leos just pointing from the Tarantino movie where he's pointing all the time? We just use that now to name everything.
What? You know what? Let's go right
Donald
there.
Sutherland just died.
Yeah, I was going to say one of the most famous pointers of all time. Or is he one of the most famous namers? We don't know. Was he naming in that scene or pointing?
He's accusing. He's alerting in that scene. That always freaks me. The noise they make when a body snatcher alarms you, that always freaks me out to this day. That always makes you go, ugh, get the chills. So, let's go right to the pointing. Guys, we're going to chat hell and howdy to everybody across all the channels. Mine, Dermian's, Jez. We love all of you. Thank you for being here tonight. Hit those like buttons. Subscribe to the channels. All links are in the description below. And let's have some fun. And I'm going to start with that. We're going to jump around the pointing thing. The whole idea that her mom is special because he wasn't special. Talk about massively overselling something and then literally delivering with nothing.
It doesn't.
No, they laid breadcrumbs.
It doesn't make sense though, because they have this whole thing of you can't see your mom. You can't see your mom. When you think about your mom or do all this stuff, it snows. You build it up to make people think it's going to be something important.
She's got a song in her heart that defeats the Maestro, or at least
yeah.
It hesitate.
Yeah.
What happened to that thing?
And then
he said she is wrong.
It's just an ordinary, honestly vile woman who gave up her daughter and never told the father that he had a daughter.
She was 15. She wasn't quite a woman.
Yeah.
I mean, why does Sutek care though about this random person? They kept saying throughout this episode,
why does anyone?
Everyone's dead, including her. Like they know that Ruby's mom is dead. They talk about, obviously she's dead. So why does Sutek care?
Why should we care? Why did they made such a big deal? Like Dermy said, the whole big deal. You can't see her face. Why can't we see her face? She's literally, and they had the entity CB to move around them in the time window in the last episode. None of it meant anything.
Why didn't the doctor go back and see her when he originally went back in time on that first episode? Why did he look, cry, and then turn around and go? Oh, okay, we know why he cried because that's what he does. But why did he? What compelled him to turn around and not see the mother when he specifically went there to do that?
Mm-hmm.
Because she was pointing. Pointing.
They went to great effort in the last episode, The Legend of Ruby Sunday, to say that the time window is feeding off of Ruby's memory specifically.
Mm-hmm.
No one else is influencing those memories. So that's why, the doctor probably saw the signpost but didn't register it and it didn't make a change. How is she remembering the 20 different TARDISes on the inside? She's never seen the interior of any other TARDIS. Apparently, she doesn't even know that regeneration is a thing from these 2 episodes.
Yeah.
So there's no way she should be able to rebuild it.
She asked who were those 2 people that were there, and the doctor went, "Oh, they were people who traveled in the TARDIS."
He just called himself a companion. He called Tom Baker a companion.
But no, he told them. He told her last episode about regeneration.
Oh, did you?
He told her last episode about regeneration, and then this episode. Okay, you already know about it. Oh, they're just people.
No, so when they're looking,
2 different writers though, so it doesn't count.
They're looking back at the
window. They got the window. Yeah. She's holding the portable screen. And she says, "Who are those people?" And he says, "Those are my companions." He's literally he's referring to Tom Baker in that as a companion. I swear to God.
I didn't even catch it that way.
He did say it in plural, even though Sarah Jane's the only companion.
There's only Sarah Jane and Tom Baker, doctor in that picture. That's it.
I want to see that.
There's no one else in that screen.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah. I reacted to say, wait a minute, what did you just call the 4th Doctor a companion? What?
The show doesn't know. The writers obviously don't know. Apparently,
Russell T.
maybe
Davies wrote
Sudek's
this.
the real, doctor. Everyone else is companion. So maybe the 4th Doctor was Sutek's companion from that day on.
The Doctor has been a companion this entire show. I'm sorry. I don't want to call him the Doctor. It's Dr. Shudy. Dr. Shudy has been the companion the entire show. He's never been an active agent in any of these episodes until possibly this time when he actually did something.
Almost.
He did something, but it
beat
wasn't
a space dog with a leash.
Yeah. And here's the thing. We start off the episode, and Jed, I did get this right. Mel pushes him out of the way. Right. He doesn't save himself. Mel saved him immediately, and then he rides bitch on her scooter.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is they're running away from a literal tidal wave storm cloud of death.
Looks just like the Mummy 2017 with Tom Cruise.
But they would have had to run into the storm cloud of death at one point in order to get into unit, because they blew. Part of the storm cloud of death comes from
somebody
unit.
Blew somebody for this.
Well, yeah, but
the storm cloud started at both places, so they ran into a place that originated it. So yeah, they had to run through the sand in unit to get there, and then he just sends the unit soldier in the time window away. It's like basically, get out of here, go die off screen, instead of saving a life when he has a chance.
But let's look at that more. Go ahead, Brad. Go ahead.
Okay, so I was just checking that scene where you talked about with that. He said with Tom Baker, he says the time window has my memories too. How the hell did that happen?
Yeah, because it's a clone. This isn't an act. It's a clone, and this TARDIS is a clone. We'll get back.
But how did the time window get his memories? I thought it was only feeding off.
That's what
Ruby.
they explicitly said in the last episode.
Yeah, well, Russell
Because
T. Davies retarded.
I'm looking at the scene right here. I got the subtitles up, and it says the time window has my memories too.
It's just whatever can happen to progress the plot. That's the only thing that matters.
Move plot now. And what I loved as they're writing, as he's writing bitch when it should have been the doctor. That's tailor made for a scene to have the doctor be somebody to be in the driver's seat to save everybody, to be in the lead in the danger moment. No, he's holding on to the seat like a little bitch, and she's driving through it. And she says, "We'll fight," and we only do what we do. We fight. But now, Jed, you remarked on this to me earlier when Kate is dying in there. First of all, I love how Jason Noble just gets ganked, doesn't even get a line. Jason Noble just gone. Gone.
Perfect.
Well, did you see when everyone's shooting their guns? Jason's just
standing there with a pad,
just playing Angry Birds of Fruit.
Wasn't the little person, whatever his name was, shooting at people in front of him?
Yeah. He was the furthest one back, and then when you go back and look at it, he's shooting in a downward trajectory. He's not shooting upwards.
Yeah,
because he's shaking back and forth. Yeah,
he's shooting the guy in front of him.
I just really appreciate that Russell T. Davies redesigned the Sonic because it used to look too much like a gun, and then gave a child scooter a machine gun. You know,
because
he's a brilliant child.
Science advisor needs. They need automatic weapons.
All mobile assist devices will now be armed. So watch out for those hover rounds when you go to Walmart.
How did the lasers turn to dust?
I don't know.
Oh, see, because they're alive. They got photons in them, which is why.
Is the Blinks alive?
I guess you can age parts. I mean,
yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
Maybe it's not lasers. Maybe it's like blasters in Star Wars. Because technically, blaster fire is not laser.
These things did damage. They can't be blasters.
It had a continuous laser beam. It was I believe it was a continuous shot in that scene.
But either way, that all of them turned to dust. All the bullets, all the lasers, they did.
But there were lasers. You're right. There were lasers.
Yeah. How does light become mad?
It's a light laser. That's a light bullet. That's all.
Yeah. Okay. Sure. We'll go with that. None of it makes sense. It's to make him, and then after Jed, that line with what does she say when Kate dies?
Oh yeah, it's like I hope to hear birds sing again, and I hope when this is all over that there will be birds again.
What the fuck was that about?
Birds.
I thought it was this a weird thing. I was like, wait, is this like the bees disappearing in season 4? Like, did they hide something in there that I didn't see? Like,
I thought maybe this was a line that her father said when he died or something.
I wouldn't know.
Like,
he died off screen.
But did he say it at one point? So I started looking it up. It's like, no, just
No, it feels like there's the deleted scene. Like we were in our Terminator 2 stream earlier tonight. I was comparing it to the setup and payoff of the I understand now why humans cry at the end of the movie. We got set up for that. Without the setup, that line is kind of weird. I feel like there must have been a deleted scene where she was talking to Ruby or something. It's like, I love birds singing. Birds sound cool. Just something stupid like that. But
there was a delete. The main plot point in this thing was a deleted scene from 73 yards.
It's true.
Yes. Yeah. And they don't really even build up on that.
They don't. Well, no,
perception field. What?
The whole thought process.
What is that about?
Of 73 yards being important doesn't make sense because this iteration of Ruby never went to that timeline. So saying that her memories are now affecting this and showing us all this stuff doesn't make sense because she was never there. She was never a part of that. Her timeline never participated in anything to do with that.
She was there 3 times. She even said it.
Yeah.
But that doesn't make the perception field is only 73 yards. What?
No,
that means
it's never been that way.
No, because that means if I'm 73 yards away from the TARDIS, if I'm 74 yards, I'm like, what the hell is that blue box there?
Yeah, that's not that far at all.
Yeah,
no, it's not even a football field.
Yeah, it's not a football field. I mean,
well, we know that the perception field thing is bullshit within their own canon because they had people turn the TARDIS into like some sort of mural in the 73 yards. They were putting flowers and other shit and all that. You don't do that on something that you can't see or perceive. Not only that, it ruins the whole thing at the end of season 3 when Dr. Martha and Jack had the perception filter around the neck to hide from the Master, from the satellites and everything.
Oh yeah.
Well,
they're more than 73 yards.
Yeah.
So none of this makes sense, and they introduced the perception field only so we can talk about Prime Minister Trump again, so that we can then learn that he had everybody DNA scanned, so we have a reason to go back to that time period to log into their computers with the security system that the doctor so-called created.
Which is really weird.
These are really weird leaps that we're taking.
Yeah, it's just somehow he's got the song.
Why would
he
the
can hack
doctor
in? That's not a big deal. You don't need to say, "Oh yeah, I created it."
Why would the doctor do that? Not Dr. Shitty. Why would the doctor catalog everyone?
Because the doctor's a fascist. Obviously, he was pro-fascist. He said, but by the way, he said he only went there once to watch the overthrow, but yet he made their entire security system. So he was a part of the cabinet.
But then that also means if he knew about the DNA system, he could have said, "Hey, Ruby, why don't we go to 2047? Because at that point, we have everyone DNA logged. We could find your mom's DNA."
But then we can't have this magical mystery throughout the entire show that ended up being nothing.
Yeah. Well, let's just hope she survived all the way to 2046.
Mystery box storytelling. It's always shit.
Yeah. Now, before they go off on their mystery magic tour to get DNA from the time where Prime Minister Trump enacted it all, they get back to unit, as we pointed out, magically, because they should have been running into Death's Storm on the way there.
Mm-hmm.
We get Shooty's attempt at a doctor speech.
Yep.
Which was word salad, if you ask me. He says a lot of things, but says nothing. Get it pulled up. We can, if you have the.
I had it. Where did I put it? Jesus Christ! Because I found the entire transcript. I found the transcript.
Yeah. So
give me a moment.
Everything's trans now.
Yeah.
Hey, it's at some point, could someone explain to me what a TARDIS remembered is and how it has any substance? Is there any basis anywhere?
For the 60th special, they did 7 web episodes, where former companions were pulled out of time and brought to the thing called a memory TARDIS. It was basically a non-canon thing where it was just a celebration of former companions meeting together. But they were only alive in the TARDIS at that point. That was the thing. It was a little fan service thing that they did. They're on YouTube, and that's what it was about. That was the very first thing that he introduced.
Oh my god, it's like what they did with Discovery. It's short treks.
So is that
it's called Tales of the TARDIS, and there's a whole series of it.
I couldn't remember. Yeah.
But Russell actually canonized Tales of the TARDIS, at least in interviews. So how much does that actually matter? He said all those older doctors. He said
it wasn't, but yeah.
Right. Yeah. He said those other doctors, the older ones, were a result of bioregeneration, where they went and lived. So that's how he explained, Peter David or all the older doctors being old in the Tales of the TARDIS. They were bioregenerated, so it was a different timeline.
But if we confirm,
that doesn't make sense.
Colin Baker still didn't want to dress like the Doctor. He still refuses to this day he's like, I'm never dressing like the Doctor ever again.
And that's fair for him. Anyone else, I'd be like, come on, man, just put it back on. But him,
who'd you say?
Colin Baker.
Colin Baker.
Oh,
she hugged the jacket in there.
That's right.
All right, Jeremy, have it.
I have that whole era going on. So it goes like, Sutek, we meet again, my old friend. Don't you dare. Doctor, what is that thing? Sutek, the death of ages, the Typhonian beast, the greatest monster I have ever fought.
Stop right there. Jed.
You went against the literal devil.
Yeah.
Yeah. You kind of did. There are definitely bigger villains than Sutek.
And that's my thing. Jed, you just watched this episode in preparation. This guy's a footnote in Doctor Who history, right?
Yeah, so Empires of Death is a 4-part, story.
Pyramids.
Season 13. Pyramid, excuse me. What did I say?
Pyramid. You said Empires.
Empire of Death, that's where it's going. But yeah, Pyramids of Mars. It is a 4-part one in season 13, and it's the only time in the actual show that Sutek has ever showed up. They decanonized a ton of Big Finish audio adventures by having him be attached to the TARDIS this entire time. But he's really a footnote. Yes, he's powerful. The Doctor does say he is a universal threat or universe-destroying threat, but he's never really even mentioned again. There are plenty of other bigger, badder villains that are more well-known that haven't been in New Who yet. We could have gotten Morbius. We could have gotten Omega or the Ronnie, something like that. But Sutekh,
how about the Valyard?
Valyard, yes, we
They've
need
been
to
teasing
I
that.
was about to say the Valyard has always been the worst enemy of the Doctor because it is literally the Doctor's darker side.
Yep.
There's plenty of great storytelling there, but
The
Sutekh,
Master was afraid of the freaking Valiant, for Christ's sake.
But yeah, Sutekh is irrelevant. Yes, he was powerful, but he looked like a regular dude. He wasn't some ghostly dog figure.
Yeah.
Yes, at the end he did get a dog's head, and he projected the dog's head into the TARDIS, but he's still a dude.
It was cultural appropriation.
Yeah,
no.
They actually inspired Egyptian mythology. It wasn't the other way around.
Well, but
Egypt
that's
culturally appropriated them.
That's why they don't call it the Celestial Toymaker anymore, because Celestial was considered related to Asian. That was an old terminology, so that's why it's just now the Toymaker. I actually read this. Yeah.
Jesus Christ. So we have this whole thing there where we get this fake ass. Oh, Derby, finish reading the speech.
It goes back and forth between Sutekh and like parts of his
Sutekh
history.
gives his history.
But then
is that where he tells how he survived?
Yeah, he
the massive
survived.
amount of
So
exposition.
let's stop right there. He talked about how he survived. First of all, we all know that this TARDIS right now is a clone. It's a copy of the real thing. If we even want to call what's been going on since Jodie took over real. For the sake of conversation, we'll say it's the real TARDIS. This is a copy.
No, it's not. The Tennant's one is the copy because he hits it. Tennant's one gets pushed out of this one. It's like basically it's the same thing with the bi-generation where you've got the Tennant Doctor, which is the original one, who pooped out Judy. This TARDIS is the original TARDIS.
So
the other one is the clone.
It's
so
changed,
this
though.
is the
It's
one
like it's the same thing like you said with the 14th Doctor. Judy got erupted out of him, but he stayed the same. So the original is still the original. So
because the 14th Doctor
had all the changes in it. So the Judy's is the clone.
14th Doctor is the one supposed to be going through therapy to cure all of his trauma that he's had for several thousand years, and Dr. Schutte is the one who is trauma free, supposedly.
So his TARDIS
According
makes sense with all the crying.
But but how does Sutekh transfer from one to the other?
Did he get cloned too?
Yeah, shouldn't he still be attached? And Jed brought this up, and just as I thought about it, how did Sutekh survive the explosion in Matt Smith?
There's so many
Pandorica.
Yeah,
there's the Pandorica when what's his bucket Davros threw the TARDIS at the end of David Tennant's run into the reactor of a Dalek master ship. There's so many examples of the TARDIS being in danger, being shrunken in Flatline in the Peter Capaldi era. There's so many weird things that happen where when
it literally blew up for all time as the sun. So
So there's no way CGI Jackal Man should even be here. We've come up with already half a dozen different reasons as to why he shouldn't even be here.
But why is he still holding on to it?
It's his temple. It's his temple.
But is he leaving it at certain times? Because Beep the Meep knew who he was and worshiped him and was like, he who waits, the boss is coming. So he's somehow coordinating crime and death empires throughout history at the same time. And other people reference he who waits. So there's more going on than just Susan and the Harbingers.
Yeah.
But is he the one? Is he who waits?
Yes.
That's who this. Yeah, he's been waiting this whole time to get revenge on the Doctor and to spread death throughout the universe.
Not that long.
Yeah, the Harbinger.
Yeah, it's several thousand in Doctor.
So when the TARDIS died, was he still attached to that? Did he get giant as well on Transalore?
Apparently, he didn't think that was a big deal.
Now,
in that, aborted timeline.
Don't forget, I just remembered that Amy Pond brought back the Doctor by remembering him. Am I misremembering that episode?
Yes.
Okay.
That's
Remind me how
that
worked.
Yes. You. What it was because she was still connected to the TARDIS and everything, and it was the last bit of the old universe that was in there. It was silly Doctor Who magic, but it was essentially the same sort of thing.
But she didn't know that Sutek was there, so how did she remember him coming back?
Oh ho. Yeah.
Yeah,
it doesn't make sense.
Was Jack holding on to Sutek as well?
Mm-hmm. That's another
when
one.
When he was clinging to it.
Well, he probably enjoyed it.
He probably did. But there's
does that mean Sutek got raped?
Way.
How awkward was it for Sutek when he was sitting there and you had the two lesbians sitting on top of it watching? You know, like that must be a bit weird.
Yeah. This whole
Unless he enjoys it.
There's countless examples of why this is impossible. Even not looking at Pyramids of Mars and Empires of Death, there's a godless amount of reasons why he can't be there.
And I got a question: how does he possess Mel? What's the
She's dying
reason?
So I can go through the logic. It doesn't make sense, and it
the logic doesn't make sense.
So like even when I say this, it's so retarded, and you would have been able to use this to answer your own goddamn mystery. I can control and see anybody who's dying because cells die off constantly.
Because
so I can find
every living cell has dead cells inside of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, so
and they mentioned find hair follicles, enamel. So he's looking through her teeth. She's like, "There's teeth somewhere. Where are the teeth?"
Wow,
he's finding you through your dead teeth ever. And he's finding you through your dead cells, and with that, he can also go through your lineage and figure out who your family is.
That's how you go back. He goes back into that. The woman says it's going back in time or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
This is
for some reason, Ruby's immune though, and the doctor.
Yeah,
they've still got dead cells.
But if he was so powerful at the beginning when he first showed up, why wasn't this done? Why didn't he just? This is the wrong villain to use for this.
Yeah.
And there's no build for this massive universal bullshit. I mean, when you look at the end of Tennant's run, you know, when all the companions were there and when Donna became the Dr. Donna, and it was like, you know, it was basically like almost like an Avengers moment at the end of Tennant's, you know, with the last of Donna.
Yeah.
They had built up everything with Davros. It's like the Daleks, and then the Daleks are there. This is like, who the hell is this dude? Exactly. I mean, you're picking a character from 50 years ago. I damn near guarantee there is no one who's watching Doctor Who 50 years ago, or even in the 80s watching reruns, that goes, I'm going to watch Dr. Ncuti. First off, they're all my parents' age. They're all in their 70s and 80s. No one's going to remember this. Why would you pick this character? Why not create a new character?
I can tell you why. It's the same reason, and I apologize for going on a slight tangent to the franchise. It's the same reason they chose the character Basil for Goddamn Acolyte, because they want to try and get something obscure to try and prove their credibility as a fan. That's my how I look at it. It's like, look, I got something really obscure that only the hardest of the hardcore might know, so that's going to make people think I'm the hardest of the hardcore, when in fact most people will go, what?
Well, can't wait for Jack the Rabbit to appear then.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and also I think it was designed deliberately to confuse people, because when at first I've seen the original episode, but I didn't remember Sutek. That was the problem. Yeah. But I recognized the voice. That's the same voice as the guy who played the devil. So I instantly thought that's who it was. When he's talking about the great, you know, a big scary enemy, something like that, someone that was trapped. I'm like, oh, okay, so it was the freaking the devil in Satan's pit, because it was the same voice actor that did it. But then it was the guy that he trapped in the freaking time tunnel. It wasn't even the time vortex. It was a time tunnel. It was a very
specific one between Mars and Earth.
Yeah. Really? So they retconned that, huh?
Mm-hmm. Well, they retconned more than that. So I think he said it in this episode, but he also said it in Tales of the Stardust Shudigawa, that he basically pulled another Star Wars reference besides the "Your parents are nobody" and the somehow Palpatine returned. Somehow he evolved into a Titan to explain his massive power increase from the classic Who episode. But then they show him latched onto the TARDIS right after Tom Baker left the events of 1912, the Pyramids of Mars, as the ghostly dog thing. So they counteracted themselves. He didn't evolve in the time vortex like Ncuti said he did. He was that the whole time.
He evolved in the time vortex and then managed to birth the entire pantheon of gods.
from the TARDIS, yeah, somehow. But then what's the whole salt thing freeing the toy maker?
I don't know.
The toy maker was it's implied to be from before the universe.
That's what I'm saying. The toy maker works for him and was afraid of him, but the toy maker existed before the TARDIS ever landed the first time. When he was Michael Goff, so.
Well, the last episode they said, Sutek was the mother and father and other of all gods, including the toy maker. So it's not just he works for him; he's afraid of it. It's his daddy.
The toy maker's not even from this universe, and the toy maker existed before the TARDIS ever landed where it was. The TARDIS pulled him from another universe.
Careful,
that was the thing.
You're using lore. Careful,
you're using logic.
You're using lore and logic, but this is a big problem. This is why I fucking hate the gods. They're not fun. They throw all
another 2 seasons of it potentially.
When you're dealing with time travel, when you're dealing with this stuff, you need very strict rules, because if you don't use these very strict rules, you have all these endless circular paradoxes over and over and over again. So you need these very strict rules on what you can and can't do. By doing this, you're throwing the rules out the window, and it's no longer fun. And you're starting to question, how did this even happen? How does this work? It hurts your brain. It makes you start wanting to, grab a bottle of Jack and just start chugging it, because it's no fun anymore. You take old suspense out of it because, oh my God, well, let's just do this.
It's lazy. It's lazy because they don't want to do the time, do the work, make the effort.
There's no stakes as well. That's the problem. The moment that the trans kid was killed, the wife turned to me and she's like, "Well, obviously it's going to get fixed."
Exactly. Grant, I'm right there with you. As soon as I saw
this isn't the show that does that.
Yeah, as soon as I saw the key representation characters die, I knew, it's all going to get undone at the end. It's going to be.
Isn't the use of Jason, Rose, whatever, pure tokenism in the last 2 episodes?
Nothing. 100%. He did nothing.
It is literally nothing. It's like, here's my trans person, here's my little person, here's my Arabic person. And
by
Jason,
the way,
Rose had no purpose other than to stand there and say, I'm trans.
And last episode, didn't we mention that this is the timeline where 14 is too? Didn't we establish that last episode? Where the hell
it was established by Dr. Schutte.
Yes.
Where is he during this?
He's on vacation. He's retired.
He was doing therapy.
Yeah. Have you ever done therapy, Adam? It's very intense, especially when you're thousands of years.
A couple times, but I didn't.
You have not. You've not seen the end of the universe like some people have. Come on, man.
There was a real TARDIS though. Not even.
Is there a Sutek on that one?
I don't know. Is there?
There should be 2 Suteks.
Why didn't
actually more Suteks?
Why didn't he realize that there was 2 doctors there?
Well, no. Here's the thing. So every time you land on a planet, there was going to be a Susan. Every time after that episode, every time you land,
shits
on
one
the
out.
Timeline,
every place he goes, just shits one out.
Yeah,
but
shits a brand new one out.
Being noticeable in the last few months.
Is there a bunch of dead Susans floating in space? Because he lands in space a lot.
And they're everywhere.
Well, they're aliens.
The god of death created life. But.
Oh my God!
Oh, okay. We're not there yet. We gotta.
That's literally what he did with Susans.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, he's making life, and they're real people apparently. But imagine how awkward the Suteks were during the 50th anniversary when there's 13 of them.
Has there never been a Susan?
The ambulances?
How does he do that as an ambulance?
I think that
he created software.
He was the inspiration for it.
She was the app. He created an app called Susan.er.com.
Oh my God.
I wonder what that's an anagram.
Has there never been another character named Susan in the last 60 years? You're telling me the Doctor's never encountered someone named Susan?
Susan has been a common name that's been used throughout. And I think he did that on purpose, so people have to go back and watch the other ones to try and find something when there is no puzzle. Because he likes to fuck with people. Well, actually, he likes to fuck with fans that actually take the time to go and do stuff about it.
Yeah.
People
didn't used to.
No, didn't used to. I saw one stand defending this episode, especially the fact that it didn't make sense, saying it was actually a critique of Doctor Who fans. Oh, you're so rabid, you want everything to make sense. Oh, you're always hounding me for good, satisfying things like Susan being the granddaughter and whatnot. Well, I showed you it means nothing.
Subvert
Canon
your
matters.
expectations. Fucking bullshit.
Canon matters.
Good product. I gave you bad product. Therefore, I've created good product.
I literally saw a
much.
stand.
I don't trust that he ever created good product ever at this point.
He did. I mean, I enjoyed the first.
No, here's the thing. I think other people made it good back then. I don't think it was him anymore. I think.
Oh, do you think he was reined in more?
Look at some of your favorite episodes and ask yourself, was it written by Moffat?
Most of the time, it is.
Most people's favorite episodes from RTD are Moffat episodes. Moffat is a terrible showrunner. He's a great writer when he gets reined in.
Excellent point. And here's what I have a question there for now. Whose idea was it? Now, when we get now to the after this fake doctor speech where he pretends to understand what's going on and they exchange exposition, somehow
this is gravitas.
Somehow they make it to the time window. They just get down there somehow.
Oh yeah, you gotta understand. So when the dust was going all throughout all the world, they're on a closed air system, so it couldn't get in.
Even though there was a harbinger right there.
Well, yeah, it's got to go down the elevator. The dust flows. It's a weird system, you know.
Yeah,
and the glass room was hermetically sealed. You could tell by the space between the glass.
But yeah. It's the Air Force field. So.
Oh, okay.
So they get down to the time window, and now, so bootleg TARDIS that's in there. Bootleg TARDIS. Is that the same as in these webisodes that they showed? Is that what that is then?
No. So in the webisodes, the TARDIS exists in a pocket outside of time and space.
Okay.
And it draws memory. So the people that get pulled into the TARDIS aren't actually really there. It's their memory. It's the TARDIS. It's the TARDIS remembering them. It's a version of themselves.
So that's what that thing is then. Oh my god. Okay, now I understand. God damn. So everything inside there was ridiculous. The thing I hated the most inside there is when Mel goes for a real Sonic, and he goes, "No, don't touch a real Sonic screwdriver."
I did also grab a vibrator.
That did look like a vibrator.
I missed that.
Well, because what's her name? Dr. Karen's was the second one that they grabbed and had that.
Yeah, because it has that curve at the end of it to get into the.
One looked like Matt Smith's.
All I know is that I felt insulted by that. I just did. Personally,
it's so interesting that the TARDIS was smaller on the inside. Finally,
I did think that's like, wow, for once it isn't bigger on the inside. It's really tiny. Either way, now once they're in there, then magically they end up on that planet where he gets the spoon.
What is the purpose of this?
Well,
okay,
I feel like
it's
an episode split there.
Spoons have always been an integral part of Doctor Who. As weird as that, as weird as that sounds, spoons have popped up in every single era. Peter Capaldi fought Robin Hood with a spoon.
Yes,
there's
right.
Each different one. There's always been a weird spoon wrapper. I don't understand why or where it comes from.
It's probably very British.
Okay, I
feel like it seems like something a Monty Python would make a joke about.
So we're led to believe that this dust destroyed everything that was metallic and everything like that, and he needed something real. There's cloth, there's wood, there's everything around them.
Jamming in the TV. I mean,
well,
I don't know.
How did people avoid the dust?
Did he not have anything on him that actually existed? He has a sonic screwdriver.
No, it doesn't make sense. I feel like they changed the ending of the episodes. That's what I was saying. Is I feel like it would have worked a lot better if that spoon scene, the landing on the planet, was the beginning of the episode. Like a lot of episodes start out with a little like, "What's going on?" instead of right where the action left off.
I think that they put her in because she was a famous actress, and they said that she has a very pivotal role in this upcoming episode. She was an unnamed character, a character that had, I think, was a character that had no name, but plays a very important role.
Wait, so that chick's an actual that's the reason.
Yeah, she's in Fleabag.
Yeah,
that's right. She is in Fleabag. I just read that.
Jeez.
Yeah,
so
that's how a lot of it was advertised.
Well,
what was the importance of her role? I gave you a spoon.
She was the keeper of the spoon. Without her, everything.
The only
failed.
spoon in the universe, which apparently for some reason needed to be stuck in the time window. Why, we don't know.
You telling me there wasn't a remembered
he
spoon?
Needed something from the real world, something that exists.
But why?
Well, I thought you just needed a piece of metal.
To boost the mini TV.
And also, they need to put in the line that metal and going after gold and money isn't important. Being electrocuted by a millionaire.
Wait. I'm checking something out real quick because I'm pretty fucking sure that stupid cup he was drinking out of was made of metal.
But you can't break it into a piece to shove it into the TV slot.
Sure, you can find a way.
Either way, it's a scene of word salad nonsense to try and make you feel bad that these people have lost their lives and the babies and the memories. And I'm just sitting there going, can we hurry this along, please? I want to.
Yeah.
Can we get to the point? And it's just, it goes nowhere. That's where I come. My final conclusion of this part. It's just a lot of talking about nothing to get a spoon. And it's interesting that the spoons are actually an ongoing joke, but it still is a lot of nothing to get to something that can be useful.
Did you think it was like centuries later or something? Because that's what it felt like. The way that he was walking around and talking, he's just like, I haven't seen another person in weeks.
I don't know.
Was he there before? Asking her because all the stuff that she was saying is like, oh, the man said this is what it was and time done this.
Yeah, I thought that was going to be the doctor too.
And that was the doctor.
Yeah.
I'm like, so is the doctor just going there and waiting for her to be in a state of absolute delirium so we can get some metal off her? Was he constantly going back and forth?
The metal.
Was he teasing a dementia patient? Because that's what it sounded like.
This is Russell T Davies trying to be profound, but failing at it completely.
That's a good point. He's trying to make you emotionally invested.
Yeah.
It's like, look at the suffering of the universe. And it's just, it doesn't work. And he's done it before.
Everywhere.
He's done it before. That's the worst part. I was emotionally invested in the conclusions for Eccleston and for Tennant, those seasons, because they had a good build. I have nothing here. I don't know, honestly, why I'm supposed to care about Sutek, someone who I've never seen before. I don't know why suddenly everything's dead. They want the audience to fill in the blanks for them because, like you say, they're not doing the work anymore. Yeah. It's just like I write a post-it note. Okay, if we're in a show running session, just like throw some ideas on the board. Here's an idea. Here's a great idea, and then we just stick them together, but don't actually connect the dots. That's what this episode is.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they use intelligent rope to connect it, so that's why.
Oh, I forgot about the intelligent.
God,
right,
I mean,
yeah.
the rope
so,
and the gloves.
Is this the real conclusion to Doctor Who? The Doctor defeated the bad guy by tying a dog to his vehicle and dragging it around.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh my God, he's Clark Griswold.
Yeah.
That's how Clark Griswold killed the dog.
I mean, you think about it. We go through all this. They do the stupid thing about the DNA so that we can have the setup so that Ruby can be the one to trick him so they can get the rope. It's all a bunch of nonsense. And yes, I do enjoy Millie Gibson in the tank top, but it isn't enough to save any of this. What we get here at the final point is, like you just said, like Jed said it, like Grant said it, you're dragging a dog on a leash through the time vortex.
A vortex he's been surviving for thousands of years, no issue.
Thriving.
Yeah.
Thriving even. And
but
then
now
it's over.
It's like, it's basically, here's the scenario. It's just like, you're a burn victim. We're going to kill you by setting you on fire.
Go ahead.
What burn? Like it's a logic that when you say it, people are like, okay, I can see that, but it doesn't make any sense.
But here's the thing. So we bring death to death. What happens? You get life. That's not what would happen.
No. You get miracle. You get miracle.
Two negatives make a positive, Jeremy. It's math.
Oh, that's where I was going to go next with this. His clever plan. We've been waiting for a doctor plan all season. His clever plan is to turn himself into a monster of death, to kill death, to bring death to life and life to.
But here's the thing. Here's the
But
thing.
if he is death, that means that there is no more death, which means we have the miracle day from Torchwood that whole season where no one could actually die.
Yes, but that's it. Like, you know who did an episode about what happens when you have no death around a whole lot better? Family Guy. Family Guy did an episode where Death broke his ankle. He can't be Death anymore. And guess what? People don't come back to life. They just stop dying. So
yeah, that makes sense.
You can't. Family Guy did this. And that's not great show writing, but they managed to figure this stuff out. You don't just kill Death and, oh my God, everybody's back. Everything's undone. We killed Death.
And all it is having him scratch the time vortex as he's dragged through it.
But how is it
everything everywhere at all?
How is this really any different than when he threw him into the time vortex to age forever and then die of old age? He still killed him. It's the same plan. It just looks a little more brutal. That's it. I don't think the doctor became a mom. I become a mom. No.
That's so over the top. Yeah, exactly. There's no.
He's not. He did the same thing he did in Pyramids of Mars. Mm-hmm. I mean, Doctor's done some really. Remember what he did? Was it the Family of Blood? Is it the Family of Blood? Is that what they were called?
Yeah, torturing them for all eternity.
Yeah, that's some dark ass shit.
It's a great two-parter.
That was good.
Or when he thought he blew everybody up in the Time War.
Yeah.
When he thought he did it.
It's never been something that he does try to avoid killing and death and whatnot, but he still does it when necessary. Sutek, God of Death, destroyed the entire universe. Killing him saves everyone. That is the calculus of life that he's done before, and he would 100% have no qualms about making that decision. He'd still try to ask him and say, like, can you not do it? Like, giving them a chance, but...
I got a question for you. So, in order for Sutek to be able to do everything in the universe, he had to plant these Susan characters all the way through there. But to undo it, he just had to scratch the time vortex, which is basically killing the universe. Why didn't he just do that in the first place? Why didn't he just scratch the time vortex? That would have done the exact same, right?
I don't know. It's
how does that
hypothetically?
It's the exact same way where it's the exact same question I have is if he could always take over the TARDIS. Why didn't he do it before? Why did he wait till now? Especially he's taking over the TARDIS. That is just
finally. He did use the word. He's finally able to do it after all this time.
No explanation
why. Thousands of years. It's just very coincidental that all this.
Yeah. And then you noticed when right before.
I know why.
Right before he dragged him on the leash.
Billions of years. Because remember the TARDIS was the sun for all eternity for Earth in the end of season 5.
He finally had a doctor who had no balls.
Go ahead, Brad. What?
He finally had a doctor that had no balls.
Oh,
less balls than Jody. He was waiting for Pride Month. He was waiting for Pride Month.
We all wait for Pride Month.
Oh God, yes. he literally. It's like I know when to attack when the doctor's gay.
And what I don't understand is I come back to the whole TARDIS.
That's a good attacker, Jody.
I feel as though the TARDIS has been the TARDIS lore is completely thrown out the window.
She was queer baiting.
Yeah, Jody was
queer baited. You're right, she's queer baited. But she was queer coded, just not activated. I don't know.
Didn't she kiss?
That was queer. That was more queer baiting. That was still queer baiting. They still cried queer baiting on that one. It was too much. It wasn't enough. But the TARDIS then suddenly fires a beam
because I didn't remember this, and I could have forgotten it. Has the Doctor ever been able to control like the TARDIS itself with a random whistle? Like I've seen him whistle.
The snap is beautiful. I always love the snap.
Well, yeah, the snap. He has whistled for the TARDIS before, like himself, but using a whistle to control.
Wait a second. If they require real things to make things real, the whistle wasn't real. It came from
the whistle wasn't
TARDIS.
Real. The whistle was from a previous thing. It's crazy that the one thing that he needed to save the world happened to literally fall in his lap. This is Judy Gatwa's whole scenario. What episode did he save? What episode did he save someone doing?
That's what I've been saying the whole time. he's
The
just the
episode they like
background
to throw
character.
around. The episode they like to throw around is the Christmas special, where he committed genocide on a bunch of goblins and never once tried to actually like communicate with them and actually do what a doctor would do. The other episode they like to say is Space Babies, but when you actually get down to the nitty gritty, he murdered.
he saved a
he
snot
murdered at
monster.
least 2 planets.
Yeah, all those
The
babies.
snot
are dead.
monster
Snot
designed to
monster's
kill
dead.
all the babies.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The,
snot
the very
monster's dead.
sentient snot monster.
Yeah. So he saves the everything because remember the flux never happened now. Just never happened. And then it's time to get Millie Gibson's mom.
Why didn't they do this in the first place?
And also,
They have the
This is
technology
so
for DNA
bad.
testing.
Oh, it's just so bad.
If you realize they tested his DNA, he used the TARDIS flip phone to test your DNA, and they got it from the records of UNIT. That means it was always, you're right, Derby, it was always there. It was always there. And then the whole idea that she's special because she's not special. And I have to ask this, the pointing. Because now when Jed said, we're going back to what Jed told me, pointing names things. Not only is pointing name things, but when you're by yourself in the middle of a road at night with nobody else there, you're going to point to a sign, and that's for whose benefit?
Well, she's
Yourself?
hoping someone is there watching her. Or she knows her CCTV cameras. Just
Is that hope?
it is England.
easier
There's a lot of
than
cameras.
Writing down a note, leaving it with the baby.
Don't
Most
fucking
people
deal with
leave
these
notes
houses.
on those babies.
Why would you, Jed? That is so logical and stupid.
Yeah.
Why would you do that when you could
Her
point?
name is Ruby.
I'm
Please take
going to
care of
name
her.
my dog Lord of the Rings. I'm pointing Lord of the
That's a good name.
Why was the
That's a
doctor
good
so
name.
adamant about her not meeting a mum? He did everything to do it, and then he was
Yeah,
like
it was
pissed off that she went.
selfish.
It was.
He knew
it
he was going to
so,
be left
like,
alone. He didn't want to say
It's
goodbye to her.
literally her meeting a mum and the way in which she did it, where she ordered the coffee, and obviously
That was awkward as hell.
That was so
I-
bad.
It was cringe.
Oh my
It was
God,
so
that-
definitely cringe.
That's
I was
that's
fast
perfect for
forwarding
her
through
character.
it. I couldn't watch it.
That's her.
I
because
saw a
she's-
great.
Let
Go
Grant go.
Yeah,
Sorry.
it was perfect. It was perfect for her character.
Yeah.
Because this is everything she did. She's
Mhm.
brave enough to go in there, but she can't quite initiate it. She needs another force to come in. I get that. And coming from someone who never knew one of their parents, I could understand the way in which she was acting. And I thought she acted her ass off in that scene. The mother, not so much. It was kind of weird that everything's all cool and everything between them.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is that was literally the only thing, and the doctor was the one trying to stop that. I just didn't understand why. Why was he so hell bent? And then has the audacity to turn around and said, "You've all taught me so much about family, but I can't
Oh my
stick around to help
God.
you with yours. I have too much trauma." You know, the trauma-free doctor.
Yeah. And let's forget that the
mom
doctor
never
has learned
told
about
the
family
father.
numerous times.
The
I
mom
mean-
never told the father about the kid.
That's not uncommon.
Well,
in a
that's
situation
it's
like
it's,
that.
it's teenage kids. There's a big
Yeah.
difference. It's
I
Yeah,
can't get over that though. You know, you
that
have
doesn't bother me. That's just
Yeah.
It bothers me. It makes me dislike her so much. Why didn't you just? I get it. You have a bad stepfather, but tell the father, hey, you know, we're giving.
Oh, God, you know what
we're
I-
helping you out.
I thought for a minute
I
that
thought it
Ruby
was.
was an
I thought it was
abuse
the
child.
stepfathers.
yes.
I
I
thought
thought.
she was an
Oh, I
abuse
thought it was an
child for a second.
incestuous thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought she was an abuse child for a second there. But you mean, yeah, it's a massively cringe scene. But I keep coming back to the whole point of what is the point of Ruby Sunday then? What is
Nothing.
her
Special
point?
because she's not
What?
special, but because we thought she was special because you told us she was special.
So that
Oh, there's
made her
a
make-
message there.
that makes her make snow.
Yes.
Dude,
Where's the snow come from?
okay, you don't understand. Every time I think about when I was born, because everyone remembers the day that you were born, it was raining. I get really wet.
The day I was born was the Super Bowl. I remember the Super Bowl. It was the Dolphins' undefeated season. Don't you guys remember that?
I don't remember anything.
Might have
No,
been a little
you,
bit-
I
you weren't
think I was
even.
born
You weren't
at
anything at
10
that point. I'm the
I
old
was
guy.
born at 10 p.m. in Misery.
Misery? Well, I'm sure it was
That's what
misery
your
when you were
mom
born.
said.
Well, I mean, the Missouri, but it's
Missouri.
called Misery. So
I
You walked
actually
into
do
that one.
remember my birth as well because everyone was freaking out about Y2K. The whole world was a mess, you know.
That you were ginger.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I'm so fucking old. Oh, my God.
Yeah, sorry. Wait, you were born when?
Just
Nixon
before
was
Y2K, at the tail end of 99.
Jesus Christ.
Nixon was still in his first term when I was born, guys.
For once, I'm not the oldest
Okay.
person here.
Well, that
I am
narrows it
the
down
oldest.
that narrows it down which Dolphins premiership it was.
It's called 1973, guys.
Yeah.
But so this whole season, and I said this beginning of the stream, I thought that Ruby was going to save the day. Well, she sort of did it. Her mother did sort of, and the doctor threw a rope around a dog.
Well, she brought the rope, didn't she? Did she bring the rope?
I think so.
She distracted. She
was
distracted Sutek with the screen.
Oh.
That was her.
Her smashing the screen with doing it. I like that. I thought, okay, fair enough. If
That
we're
was
not
way
gonna
more
find
badass
out,
than anything the doctor
I was
did.
just like, okay, cool. It's just like, well, you're never going to know if you're going to kill us anyway.
Well, honestly, because of Jed from last week, I thought she was going to say, "I'm my own mom." I swear to God, I thought she was going to go, "I'm my own mom." You know,
the way that she was saying, I've seen it, but it just doesn't make any sense. I don't understand this. It was just like,
I thought it was going to be some massive reveal, but no, it's just a
There's
distraction.
nothing.
There's literally nothing. And why does Sutek care?
But don't worry, her grandfather is the master. They'll do a full Palpatine sort of thing.
Oh my God. All I know is just, here we are. We got this whole thing, and then he cries one more time, and then we get Lady who has been four times.
Four times.
Yeah, four
Jesus.
times.
Yeah, but the weird thing about it is it was only 3.5 tears. Because you can't really
and a little snot. There was a little snot at one point on the flavor saver. On the flavor saver.
They got the guy with the drip thing coming in between takes.
No, he's a crier. Shooty's a crier. I can believe it. He's a crier. But then
RTD hears it a lot.
Lady who breaks the fourth wall, who when everything was dying and she was being bitchy to grandma in bed, said she reveals that she's the next big bad. And she's going to make the doctor suffer.
She's the final bad. She's the final bad because there's 3 seasons, and he talked about trinities and everything. So there's going to be a different god next season, and she's going to be the final one.
Well, there's only the 2 seasons confirmed right now. Yeah, Disney only ordered 2, so hopefully they don't make it to 3. Russell said he has no plans for 3 quite yet.
Yeah, but supposed to keep writing more gay stuff.
There are Easter eggs for her in these episodes. For those you don't know, she dressed up as Clara in these 2 episodes.
Yeah, well, you pointed that out to me the other day. Yeah, you pointed that out to me a couple days ago, and I was like, no.
And then when she resurrected at the end of this episode, she said, "Oh, you clever boy," which was Clara's main thing, clever boy. And then the other one that most people didn't notice is that weird-ass costume she had in the final moments with the white
What is
fur.
that? I knew that had to mean something.
That's from
it looks like
Emma
Romana.
Frost.
So one of Tom Baker's companions
I think it was Baker's.
Yeah.
Who could have been that? If you wanted a female Time Lord, give us Romana.
Romana's awesome, but yeah, she did dress in a couple episodes like that.
Take her like speech she was telling to the grandma. Tell your creator I'm coming to break down your golden gates and take them as my own or something. What
the made it seem like she was in league with Sutek.
I thought. All I know is that I hate fourth wall breaks in this. I hate all the fourth wall breaks this season. It completely takes you out of it. Going all the way back to the premiere, haven't you ever seen a TARDIS before? It's just not smart storytelling.
It only works for certain stories. Deadpool's fine because Deadpool had always been a fourth wall breaker. Original She-Hulk comics, also fourth wall breaker. But you can tell sometimes they don't know how to do it right. That's the She-Hulk TV show. But when John Byrne was doing She-Hulk comics, that was great fourth wall breaking. And clearly Ryan Reynolds has it for Deadpool.
He was talking to the writers in it. That was the point of that one.
Yeah.
It was just like, I can't believe you're going to have me do that on page 4. You know, like shit like that sort of thing. Also, what's the running joke with the old bitch never being able to get a cup of tea? She's asked for it like 5 times, and every single person has not given her one.
Because they don't like her. It's grandma abuse, elder abuse.
Yeah,
come on,
elder abuse.
She can't get out of the bed.
Black mama freaking takes in a bunch of kids for free checks. Okay,
well,
she changed her mind after Ruby.
Yeah, she took in more.
So Ruby is a white savior.
This whole thing, this whole thing needed a white savior. It did because instead of Ruby Sunday, this is a Black Sunday. This thing is horrible. It's dead.
So
it completely falls apart because we see that we leave Ncuti Gatwa cosplaying the Doctor crying over the console of the TARDIS because he's alone again. But don't worry, you'll get Monday next season.
Go out there with your companion and this family that you seem to say that you love and that's changed you. Why are you acting like the old Doctor if you're not the old Doctor?
And even old Doctor Matt Smith, he took breaks, hung out with the pawns.
He even hung around naked one episode with them.
Yeah.
Do you remember at the end of Tennant's run, and he's saying goodbye to all the companions, and Sarah Jane says, you act like you have no family. You have the biggest family in the world. And he's talking about all of his companions. That is his family. He finds family. And yeah, he gets sad for a bit, but sometimes he needs to be on his own. Companions ground him. That's all he needs.
Well, you got to remember, Ncuti Gatwa was the clone. He's not the real Doctor. He doesn't have a family because he's the clone. And I love, and Jeremy, I bet you love this because it always annoys us. He keeps calling himself a Time Lord, but they've already acknowledged multiple times in this season he's not a Time Lord.
Yeah, he's not.
Why does he have two hearts? Did the little black girl have two hearts? I thought only Gallifreyans had two hearts.
I don't know.
Apparently, they lucked out on having the same physiology,
the same biology. God damn, there's a lot of coincidence involving this.
Here we are, though.
Nameless child.
We made it through this season. We roasted the hell out of it. We learned nothing. These characters had no development. The only character development we got from Ncuti Gatwa is that he cries a lot, and he doesn't save the day.
Millie Gibson has nice tits.
And Millie Gibson
is just ordinary.
She has a great body, but it's not enough. I mean, I appreciated it, but now she's gone. She may be coming back next season, but she's not a regular.
I don't get it.
It looks like Martha role.
No, she's back for one episode, but she's not second billing, so she's further down in it. So it's probably going to be like a one-off scene. But the next,
like Jed was saying,
is the Monday Monday chick. So does that mean season 3 is going to be someone called Tuesday? Like, is he really going to be that on the nose? We've got Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday as characters.
Probably.
There's not going to be a third season.
I don't think. Well, let's wrap this up then with some predictions, as we like to do here. First, are we finally under 2 million overnights this week?
Ooh, let Dermy answer that.
Nostradamus. What say you?
Nostradamus.
I was wrong last week. I did not think it would dip down that low. But if I keep watching like the reactions on Twitter, it's torn. I keep looking at it. There's shills saying it's the greatest thing ever, and there's a lot of also stands and shills saying, "What?" I want to say it gets to 2 million, maybe a little higher than last week. So 2.5 to 2 is what I'm predicting.
Jed.
I'm right there, just above 2, I still think, because it's, a finale episode. I do think it's going to do worse in the consolidated, though, because like Jeremy said, the reception to it, even among the stands, is very bad, so that'll affect the consolidated. I think that'll more affect that.
Word of mouth will drag it down.
Word of mouth. But apparently we were wrong, Adam. The theatrical release, which made more sense, was actually this weekend.
Really?
And there were people tweeting about it who said there were only like 13 people in there. Like it was, in like the tens.
Ooh.
How many people went to see it in the theaters, and they all like hated it. These people are tweeting like, I can't believe I wasted my time going to go see this. They're laughing at the wrong bits, making fun of the episodes, the crickets. There's just been a lot of great memes from the people who saw it in person. And I'm not expecting even a report on the box office for that. And that was one thing I was worried about. If it did have a big theatrical release, if a lot of people went to go do it, that would affect the overnights to a small extent and have those be down at below 2. But because tens of people showed up to the different showings, it's not gonna make a difference.
Oh man! All right, so
that is their core audience. So that's the thing. Like, there's a lot of YouTubers that I watch who are you would call them stands. They're very pro Doctor Who, and they've liked 90% of the episodes. Not a single one of them came out of going to the cinema saying that they liked it. They said the biggest reaction that they got was when you found out that Ruby Sunday's mother was no one, and it was a groan.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus Christ.
That and he said the only time that people were laughing or whatever it was when the guy told the woman not to make a cup of tea. They're real handsy guy that wants to always rub his hands on everyone, which is kind of weird. But
It's
yeah,
a
I think
disaster.
I think if it's 2 million, that would be right exactly where I think it should hit. If it dipped under, that would be a surprise, but a pleasant one.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
here's
Grant
something.
says 2. Brad, what do you think?
I think it would have to be at least 2 million just on the fact it's a finale. It might get a little more in there, but I forgot about the theatrical release. Wow.
I'm going to be
I can't believe
consistent.
people would actually go pay. They would go pay to see this on a large screen.
Yeah, I sure as hell didn't pay for any of this. But
The funny thing about it is they cut the concession stand off before the intermission because they played both episodes. So
Really?
people went out there to get stuff, and they couldn't get anything.
There's
Wow.
one lady who recorded herself partway through Empire of Death. She pulled out her phone and started watching it on her phone and left. She's just watching on her phone as she walks out of the theater.
Oh, hey,
Funny.
are there? I know I've seen all the Disney shows for like the Acolyte. Just watching Grizzy's channel. Are there shield channels for Doctor Who now?
There's plenty.
Okay, because I don't know where to go to find them. I would just love to see how they rationalize this.
They're weird on how they rationalize it. If you think Star Wars shills are like grasping at straws, they really grasp at straws, and they just usually ignore all the actual issues. They turn brain off and go like
pretty much. And the chat has it. Mr. TARDIS is one of the biggest ones, and he was a little divisive with the episode.
I loved it. He's sitting there in his car and he's just like, I'm just so deflated. I can't believe it. It's just like, I'm like, you're the one that turned around and basically said Boom was one of the greatest episodes of all time. And you're
really?
Going, yeah.
Jeez.
Oh, you love Boom.
Wait, which one was Boom with Dr. Jody?
No,
that was this
season.
This where he
when he stepped on
the landmine. The landmine.
Oh, that was called. I don't remember.
And he cried for 30 minutes.
Yep.
In the snot bubbles.
Oh my God, these views.
I forgot it was called Boom.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna be consistent. 1-9. Why I've come this far for 2 months. Why not? 1-9.
You bet on black the entire time. Keep betting on black.
The one day that you change your mind, it'll be exactly 1-9.
I know.
I think the Christmas special might get down that low.
Well, nobody will tune in. That's the thing. But listen, I'm going to be consistent. Listen, I'm going to go with the meme. I'm going to stay with it anyway. So, and then I'm going to go with what we say otherwise also. I predict this doesn't get out of its already purchased and filmed season 2. This has the potential to their final Christmas special for season 2. That'll be it.
I hope the Christmas special doesn't come out for one reason. The last thing it says on the episode is Doctor Who will return.
Oh shit!
If that's the way that they went out, that would be a beautiful end to thing. And I do think Russell T Davies is the kind of guy that's gone, well, I basically created the modern era. I get to destroy it.
That's so petty.
It wouldn't surprise me if he ended it just like what's her bucket, Mrs. Flood said. His story ends in terror. Maybe he does. He has no plans for season 3. He plans on season 2 being the end of Doctor Who. I will finish it.
I'm remembering the line. I remember the line from the first Cosby show. One of the Cosbys. Where he says, I brought you into this world. I'll take you out to Theo.
Yeah. If Mr. TARDIS is one of the biggest Doctor Who shills, he's not happy.
He did not.
He's not. He
is retweeting a bunch of people making fun of it.
These people expected some big reveals, and there was we went over it. There was nothing. This was
That's the worst part about this. I mean, we knew it was going to be great, but it's like you were made to think there's something significant to the snow. There's something significant to Ruby's song, and she's like, there's not.
They started the season.
But in the flashbacks, it wasn't even really snowing. It was only snowing after the Doctor came back there. When she was dropped off and did all that, it wasn't even snowing. It had already snowed, but it wasn't currently snowing when she was there. So I don't understand the significance of it.
And why is it? Also, how does snow just appear now?
Well, no,
there's no answers. None.
And Ruby's story's done.
Yes,
you're done.
She's gonna her mom. She's gonna go meet her dad, and she's gonna get a boyfriend that the Doctor is gonna seduce next season.
Her mom was like a teenage prom night pregnancy.
Yeah,
there's a Family Guy song about that. Dumpster Baby.
I remember that. So you're absolutely right, Brad. Her story is done, and she'll be like other past companions, maybe pop in, but it's just to pop in. It's not to actually grow, evolve, or change anything. It's just to boop. Hi, remember me?
Yeah, but there was nothing to her story.
Yeah.
Rose had a story. Martha had a. They all had. Well, Bill didn't have a current story. Bill had a story of some sort.
She's gay.
In the last
that was
two
a story.
episodes.
She was gay.
I think
I heard she was gay. I heard that once or twice.
I didn't realize that. I wish she told us.
Yeah, I had to guess.
Yeah. I mean, even though we hated Clara had a story, even though we hate her story. I mean,
I thought this was a whole Impossible Girl thing. This was set up as an Impossible Girl thing, and then in the end, literally, it's just like my mom was a teenage mom, and she gave me up because she couldn't take care of me, and my dad was a teenager also. And then I ran into them at Starbucks, and she heard my name Ruby. I remember she pointed a sign named said Ruby, and we reconnected. And we love each other now. The end.
Ta-da!
She's like, hilarious. Like, oh, this was awkward. I wanted to call you No U-turn.
Pointing at something else.
I was pointing at that bird shit on the roof there. That's what I was pointing at.
It was Birdhouse. I meant to call you Birdhouse.
Yeah, you were saying something.
Even the Flux wasn't as appalling and one of the worst things that's ever happened to Doctor Who. Like this, I think this does more damage to Doctor Who than The Timeless Child.
I wouldn't go that. I can't go that far.
I can see the bi-regeneration as having near that level, but I don't think.
I think we could say that it has done damage. The fact that perhaps those few who were clinging on just got slapped in the face by Russell T Davies' dick, and now they realize it's empty, it's soulless. There's nothing to this.
What it has done is it has damaged Russell T Davies' aura, his magicness. RTD's coming back. Look, when I heard RTD was coming back, I'm like, oh, that's interesting. RTD did good, and now it's like the mythos is gone.
I fell for it hook, line, and sinker, and then I heard Moffat was coming back. I was
It's
happy
a fucking one-off. All it proved is like your first run of Doctor Who was a fucking one-off, and that's great. I love the one-off, but one-hit wonder RTD.
And I have an article I'm going to bring up tomorrow on Roundtable of him talking about what he always wanted to do and what he believes in. He's obsessed with gay ideology, and it's all about writing queer things, writing gay things, and how he is convinced that the world of homosexuality is in danger right now. He's convinced of this. And that's his mission, to write things to protect it.
Wait, I didn't know I was in danger.
Oh, so he's doing something on like Saudi Arabia.
Jeremy, you are in danger. There's an orange man after you.
Yeah. Oh, well, he goes on. Oh, the right wing is coming for us in England. They're coming for us. They're getting ready to pass abortion laws. He says that. I have the quotes. We'll talk about it tomorrow. The dude is unhinged. He really is. And it shows that maybe he was always unhinged. And as I said before, maybe, yes, I see that. Maybe, just maybe, it was a team that made that Ecclestone season work and not him. Maybe he was just a good showrunner and everybody else were good team writers and actually made it all work and made it all connect.
He's making Eccleston look a lot more sane, which is a really weird thing to say.
That's hard. Yeah.
It really, wow. It explains his whole thing. Like, I will come back if this happens.
That video of him, the video of him saying that is going viral again.
I mean, if we take out the stuff that Eccleston has behaved a bit not well with the fans over the years, we can go back to that period of time and now say Eccleston did nothing wrong. He saw the writing on the walls. Like,
I still can't go that far. Like, he actively shat on Doctor Who fans for years.
That's what I mean. I mean, taking that part out of it. When I say he did nothing wrong,
take away all the bad things someone does, you're only left with the good things.
No,
you know what I mean.
He's talking about leaving the show, Grant.
I'm talking about leaving the show.
Oh, okay.
Leaving the show. I don't mean no. I know he's been horrible to fans.
Yeah,
that he saw Russell for what he was, and he saw what the show was, and realized this thing isn't maybe what it is, and I'm going to get out. That's what I mean. I mean, I'm right there with you, Greg. He has been horrible to the fan base, and now comes out with his hand open. Please,
his redemption story has not started yet. His redemption arc
not
even close.
The worst thing about it is I can't stand the guy. But if he was to come back, I'd watch every fucking episode with him in.
If he had been in the 50th, it would have been epic. If he had been in the 50th, it would have been incredible.
See, that's the thing. I agree with that. But the fact that we got like Hurt in there, one of my favorite actors of all time.
That's William Hurt. Yeah, William Hurt. That's fantastic too.
John.
Sorry, John. I don't know why I said William.
Yeah, but I'm saying like I love that idea. I love that because of that. But yeah, we will rob based purely and simply on him doing. But the Doctor Who showrunners haven't learned their lesson. They did the exact same thing with Capaldi, a lifelong Doctor Who fan who can't do any. He can't and refuses to do anything to do with Doctor Who. He's like, it's done. I can't. There's no point trying to rehash it. It's already broken.
I loved Capaldi. He may have had shit to work with, but I loved his performances because he gave it his all every time. And I
still has the best episode, in my opinion, of all time.
I loved it, and his speeches were epic. Capaldi's Doctor speeches were top notch every time.
Is probably his best episode, in my opinion. One of the best episodes of New Who.
Yeah.
And it's just the Doctor.
Can anyone?
That's why it's great.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And also, Clara had no face, which was good.
Can anyone point to any Jodie or Shooty speech at all?
You can't.
Mm-mm.
The closest one for Jodie was when she was talking about how she's at the summit, she's above all humans and everything. There was the Wooden Cyberman episode where she's like, I always have to make the tough choices. You don't have to do anything. It's always me at the summit.
Well, the closest one
the summit's at the bottom. So
the closest one for Shooty Gatwa was
today.
No, there was a much better one than today. It was
Really?
Devil's Cord. Remember, he was doing that whole thing with the Muse. He had this huge speak. That was the moment when.
Well,
that was his moment where he was about to save the day, and they took it away from him.
Well, I'm not going to count that because he didn't. In this one, he gave a speech. He did something, and it was flat. It didn't have power. That one, if they had actually had the capability to pull off what he was doing in Devil's Court, that would have been a Doctor speech. That would have been a Doctor moment, but they couldn't make it happen. They dropped the ball massively, and the Beatles come in and save the day. I'm going to save the day and say we're done because we have beat this thing horribly into the ground. So let's go around the horn, pimp our wares, and go enjoy the rest of our evenings.
Christmas now. I can't wait for Christmas.
Dermy, you're up first. What you got going on tonight and tomorrow?
Well, here in about an hour, maybe a little under an hour, I'll be over on Saturday Charity when we'll be playing Crime Boss Rocky City. Game that came out like last year, but it just hit Steam. It's actually on sale right now till like July 30th or July 15th, I think.
I assume it's co-op.
It is co-op. $15. You get $100 value for $15.
So y'all gonna be yelling at each other for
more than likely, yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
and I'll be sitting there going, "Shut the fuck up, all of you!" Is what I'll be doing.
It's gonna probably be a fun time. It's gonna be an enjoyable time. There's no microtransactions or anything like that. It's all in-game stuff. So we'll try that out. It has some bugs. I've watched some people play it, so that'll be a good time. Then obviously my own Doctor Who review comes out tomorrow at 12 p.m. And that's gonna be a thing. And then check out the channel. Yay!
All right, Jed.
Well, you can all find me on YouTube and Kick at Hollywood Scholar, just regularly scheduled videos and live streams for the time being, with the exception of being back here. Well, never. I don't know if I'm going to do the Christmas special, so I was about to pimp next week's episode, and then my heart just lifted. A weight has been lifted off my chest, and I do have a couple months before we start. This is Mordor country, so.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Hey, Jed, you said you weren't going to do this season.
That's true. The follow through for me is not as strong as I hoped it would be to stay away from this show. I really was hoping for some follow through. It was just that bad that I had to peek back in. But you can find me back here on this channel for Saturday Night Drive-In next week, which Adam will talk about at Saturday at 6 p.m.
If you do Christmas special, I'll watch the next season of freaking The Witcher with you.
Ooh, that is a deal I can take.
That's a bargain.
That is, yeah. I'm coming out on top of that deal.
That's a Faustian bargain. What the fuck are you guys doing?
Dermy likes to do weird and strange things.
Yeah, we know he likes to hurt himself.
Yeah. Brad, what you got going on these days?
So I guess I'm going to finish up my Dr. Shooty review tomorrow. I continue to follow the Acolyte because I hate myself. I will be appearing Wednesday nights on God dang, I always forget what it is. Wednesday night Overbooked. It's a wrestling show with Legion Talks, Joker Voice, and Left Eye Ego. We talk about wrestling. And then I will be, well, a whole bunch of us will be enjoying a Thursday night, sitting down, watching Uncle Joe go against. Yeah, get ready, guys. It's a drinking game.
We have
Uncle Joe
a drinking game.
and Donald Trump.
I'm gonna play Final Fantasy 14 that night. Y'all can do politics. Anyway,
it's gonna be rough.
It's gonna be fun.
It's good. I think I have something in court the next day. It's gonna be tough.
Listen, let's just hope he doesn't take a dump in his pants. You got to finish the bottle. Just hope that doesn't happen, or do hope. You know, it's a win-win. I think. Anyway,
I have 2 days off.
Damn it, Dermy! I'm trying to transition. Stop it, Mr. Grant Gregory. What do you got going on?
So I'll be doing my usual Game of Thrones, House of the Dragon streams this week with Sporking. Yeah, I'll probably tune in a little bit to the quote-unquote debate, just so I can keep up with what's going to be happening in the world this year. So, but apart from that, I also decided to do a little bit of Russell T Davis sort of work, and I hit a message in plain sight this whole time. Look at my my name underneath it. It says Deadwood Ostrich. If you change all the words around, it says Doctor Who is dead.
Oh.
Hey.
Well, that's an actual anagram.
That's an actual anagram. Yeah, that's a real anagram where you don't have to add words and letters to make it work. Damn, I'm so retarded. As for myself, I will be on Saturday later tonight, probably just yelling at them to all stop being retarded. I'll be playing. I won't play 14. I'm taking a break for a couple more days before the expansion starts on Thursday. I'll probably be just finishing up Ghost of Tsushima on my own. Tomorrow, 2 p.m. Eastern, roundtable. Jed, myself, and others. We got guests. I believe Horny Alf will be joining us, and Legion Ryan will be there to fill in for Dre, who is off in Dubai doing Dubai things. I don't know. Although I wish he was going to be here for the Amanda Stenberg stuff. I really do, because I can't get away with calling her half-breed, but he can. Anyway, yeah, I just did it again, didn't I? Anyway, all right, so I got roundtable tomorrow night. I will also be on Horny Alf's gaming stream tomorrow night at now 8 p.m. Eastern. We'll be playing some more State of Decay 2. And then Mellow Mondays, 10 p.m. Eastern. We'll go over nerdy stuff there. Have a good time. Monday, also my review of House of the Dragon Season 2, Episode 2. Tuesday, taking the day off probably. Wednesday, Acolyte, because I need to just gird myself for that stupidity. Thursday, I'll be playing Final Fantasy 14. You guys can play politics. I'm going to have fun. And then Friday, I'll be back on Ball Busters for that sinking ship. And then Saturday, Jed and I will be watching the Disney adaptation when Disney was still good at doing stuff of The Three Musketeers, starring Kiefer Sutherland, and I forget everybody else in it. Charlie Sheen, Tim Curry as the Cardinal, and
Oliver Platt,
and Chris
O'Donnell.
Chris O'Donnell, thank you, Chris O'Donnell. Yeah, so we'll be watching that. Rebecca De Mornay's in it too, so we'll be checking that out for next weekend. Yeah, she was still looking good back then.
The Four Musketeers is a good film.
I just realized something. What am I gonna do after on Fridays?
You're gonna go back and watch the movies Cloud hasn't watched. That's what you're gonna do.
That's right. That is what I'm gonna go back to.
Yeah, and then we won't be back here next week because we're done for Doctor Who Cares Reviews until Christmas. So I want to thank both Brad and Grant for joining us this evening. It was a pleasure having you guys here. And,
thank you so much. Fun.
Thanks
for having me.
Chat. Oh yeah, pleasure. And thanks to the chat. We love all of you across every single one of our channels. Your support, it allows us to keep going. We appreciate each and every one of you.
You're all wonderful.
Hit that like button. Subscribe to everybody's channels. Links in the description below. And we will catch you on another different stream. Until then, guys, take it easy. Have a good night or day wherever you may be. Hitting the right button this time. Good night. Wow, we are really on a big delay here. There we go.